Morning all. How's it going? How is it going? Good to be back. Last week was a bit of a write-off, unfortunately, so sorry for the lack of content. It didn't go well. I caught a bug, a virus. Luckily not the virus, not COVID, just a virus. But it successfully wiped me out. So we're back this week, which is good. My voice might sound a bit different, but I'm feeling much better. And we are at Gatwick Airport. And we're going to head over to Stockholm. About a 2-hour flight, there or thereabouts. So, should be a nice little hop. Baggage just finishing there. I love the way the door springs there. You can see like the hydraulics, just as you'd expect it to. It's very cool. I love that detail. Anyway, let's hop into the flight deck and we'll start getting ourselves sorted out. So we're cold and dark at the minute. Pressing all sorts I shouldn't be. Okay, throttle's back to idle. Engine switches are off. Parking brake is on. Everything's looking like it should be. Good, good, good. Right. Let's up. What's that showing? Where'd you go? There we go. Right, so let's get some batteries on, shall we? And we might as well take external power, seeing as it's here. Might as well. Right, let's get our nav and logo lights on. And we'll start thinking about getting the APU fired up. So, APU master, where are you? There you are. Do that one, and then we'll do APU start. And we wait. Wait for that APU start to go from on to available. And take a little minute. There it is. Right. Now we can do our APU bleed. Nice. So we should be able to get external power off now and not have the plane shut down on us because we're running on the APU. Okay, let's get our nav on. 1, 2, 3. Fuel pumps. And crew supply, oxygen. And I'm just looking for any white lights, so just sort of working our way down each panel. And I cannot see anything, which is good. Okay, emergency exit lights armed. And we'll do the no smoking. Do us for a minute, I think. That'll do us for a minute. Okay, let's head on into here and have a quick look around. ATSU, AOC, weight and balance. If we request, that'll get the number of passengers I set in the sim brief, 160, there it is. Get them all to board instantly because I'm lazy and I can't be bothered to sit here for like half an hour while they all board. So that's good. We'll just do init as well, even though I think it's probably already done that. Good, good, good. Go into it on here. Request our flight plan. So we've been fueled, we've boarded. Now we can request our 0 fuel weight. Morning, Nick. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, error. Oh, hang on. Wait for me. Sorry, Nick, the plane's got to leave on time. You know the rules. Where are we going to this morning? We're going to Stockholm in Sweden. From Gatwick Airport. So about 2 hours, roughly, once we get in the air. Once I finish getting this all set up. So we've got our takeoff speeds there, which is all good, based on our weight and the fuel and the passengers and all that good stuff, and our flaps that we're going to take off with. Right, now comes the tricky bit, flight plan. So we're going to use runway 08 right and Franz 1Z, I think. Just double check. Fran 1Z, yeah. Weirdly, I tried to look on ChartFox before the flight just to get my bearings, really. And they, no, it wasn't ChartFox. ChartFox had it, but then Sim Toolkit Pro didn't have any SID for us to get out of Gatwick on Franz 1Z, so I don't know why that is. I don't know. It's quite an interesting approach, actually, out of Gatwick, especially when we head to the east. Because we've kind of got to get around the bottom of London, obviously without going across London too much, because it's a very populated area. We don't want that. So it keeps you quite low. Keeps you quite low, about 5,000 feet, almost until you reach the north coast of Norfolk, I believe. No way, that's not Norfolk, is it? What am I talking about? But basically, until you reach the Thames estuary, you don't go above 6,000 feet, which is quite a long time to be that low. Oh, you like the 747 video? Nice. Yeah, it's good fun, that one. Good fun indeed. Right, let's just check our plan, put it into plan mode, and we'll step through our route from the airport. So, in fact, if I put the constraints on, you can have a look as well and see where we're going to be going. So here's us. We're obviously going to taxi down this way onto runway 08. Then look, above 2,000 feet, 250 knots, fair enough. Above 3,000 feet, then you must be at 5. Not above, not below, 5. Then it's 5. Then it's 5. Then it's 6. And then you can start moving on up to flight level 390, which is where we'll be cruising our way across to Sweden. We get to Eltok. Hey, Bevy's here. How you doing? From the future. Right. Now, handily, I've forgotten what runway we're going to land into Stockholm in, so let me just check our plan. 19 right. ILS. 19 right. Perfect. Do Alto 7P as our arrival. Insert that. There we go, so here's Eltok, which is where our plan originally ended. So now we've entered in our... Let's go back the other way. So final approach. It takes us there. So if we zoom out a bit. Okay. You know what? I think I'm going to leave that as is. I'm not going to delete the discontinuity to try and join up these lines. I'm going to get to here. And we'll do a heading select up and around here, box ourselves off, and come in on final. I think that's probably the sensible thing to do, because basically in the real world at this point you would expect vectors from air traffic. So you sort of autopilot gets you here, and then you rely on kind of local assistance, is my understanding anyway. Given that we don't have air traffic, we'll get to here, disconnect the autopilot, bring ourselves round, maybe get ourselves parallel with this approach here, so come up to the northeast, over to the east, and back round. That's a plan. That's a plan right there. Alright, that's looking good. That's looking good. Have I forgotten anything? I feel like I probably have. Feel like I have. Hits. Maybe I haven't. Maybe I haven't. Right. We'll call that part done. What is the local pressure? Gatwick. I'm not going to use live weather today. Just because I had a bit of an issue with it. I did some stuff off stream last night, messing around. It's been really weird. So I'm going to duck out today and just set the weather all the way there. Which means we'll have to kind of rely on what the game thinks the altimeter should be. It's going to be 29992, isn't it? Yeah, of course it is. So we'll leave that as that. Flight director's on. I think what we'll do, we'll put 5,000 in the window. Far off. Not far off, thinking about a pushback. So we're going to tell the external power unit to clear off. And also now passengers are boarded, we'll get the jetway out of the way. Oh yeah, I saw that, they crashed. That was awful, wasn't it? Okay, so the plan for our taxi is we're going to come get pushback, come back this way, sort of towards these trees, and then we will mosey on down. So we've got to do a right turn and a left turn down here, I believe, and then get ourselves down. Hopefully I won't get lost, but you never know, especially with my navigation skills. Get in and have a look. Alright, we need some lights, don't we, if we're going to be pushing back. Need some seatbelt lights. Did that go on? Yes, it did. And we'll have some beacons. Call the tug. Here we go. Bervo, how's it going? Welcome on in. We're just about to push back. Alright, parking brake off. And away we go. I'm going to need to turn in a minute using the tablet, and I'm never sure which side I should press to make it go the way I want. I'm going to take a chance and say this way. No way, it worked. There it goes. Look at that. Who needs GSX Pro? Just need to give it a little nudge to do a bit more turning, I think. Let's end pushback. Parking brake on. Tell the tug to clear off. Cheers, tug. Appreciate it. Okay, let's get some engines fired up, shall we? That into ignition, start. Now if I've done this right, we should get a turn of an engine. There we go. See, one engine's going to be lagging behind the other because I started this one before this one. Good. Good, good, good. Okay, so we can put our engine selection back to normal. And we get our APU bleed off, APU master off. Set our auto brakes to max, because you never know. And we will, oops, set flaps to 1. good on the brakes, speed brakes. And we'll have a look at some lights. Do strobes to auto. Nose lights. Taxi. And we can leave runway turn-offs because we're not flying at night. Right. Should we see if we can make our way down? Hopefully we won't get lost. Where was it last time? Was it Pisa? We got in a bit of a mess. Fairly certain it was Pisa. What are your thoughts, by the way, all of you, on the long hauls? I'm curious. Like, the numbers would suggest people really like them, but I don't know if that is actually the case with you all. Not sure. Get lost. I'll try, Nick. There's no promises though, you know. Yeah, this is the way. I know where I'm going. Everything's fine, Nick. It's fine. Honest. I've also got new glasses actually today. And they feel really weird. Really, really weird. But the lenses are slightly bigger, physically, and obviously stronger. It just feels really weird. I'm sure it'll get better in like a day or two, but the day feels way less weird than yesterday, but it still feels weird, if that makes any sense at all. Alright, let's mosey on down. Yeah, I think that's right, Nick. I've been so long with the other glasses that it just feels so unbelievably different. I really wasn't ready for it. Like they did say, they were like, you know, give it... Get out of the way. Right. They did say, like, it will take a while. They said if it's not feeling not weird in 2 weeks, then I should come back and they'll fiddle with the lenses. Or put new lenses in that aren't quite as strong, but... yeah, it's really weird. I've also got new shoes, so the rudder pedals feel weird. So I'm getting all my excuses in. Getting all of them in early. New glasses, new shoes. So any mistakes we can blame on that. Video about an A320 crash popped up next to my stream. Oh no. I was tempted to do a video with the A310 because that's obviously come out now, but I'm just not that into it. There we go. So this is runway 8 left, I think, next to us. So we'll cross that one at the end and get across to the one we want. I've got to be honest, with the A310, when they announced it, I was a bit like, oh, why have you put all that effort into that plane? Why not like an A350 or a A340? Or even like a proper study level A330? Why have they chosen the A310? That just struck me as a really weird choice. There's only 50 of them left in service, so it's not like it's a very relevant aircraft, in my view. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing the point on it, but when it was announced, I was a bit like, oh, okay, fine. And I had to go in it last night, off stream. And, yeah, it just wasn't really my cup of tea, really. I think I like the modern commercial jets, is kind of where, like A380, A350, 777, A340s. I know they go back away as well, but yeah, I did see the DC-3 available for download, actually, now you mention that. Again, not really my thing, the DC-3. Kind of like using stuff that you would get in if you went to an airport today and boarded a flight. I think that's kind of where I'm at, really. There we go, so we're going to cross here. Yeah, I can understand people liking the older stuff. It's just not really my cup of tea, to be quite honest. I think I find that there's something cool about being able to fly the stuff that you may well board at an airport. And I know that is the case with the A310, because obviously they are still in service. But yeah. I don't know, maybe we'll do a flight in one sometime. I did feel a certain pressure, kind of as a YouTuber, even though I hate calling myself that. I did feel a bit of pressure last night, be like, oh, I need to quickly get on this and make an A310 video. Just because everyone else was, and, you know, but... Right. Let's line up and wait. TARA. Let's look at our lights a moment. Takeoff. On. Those lights take off. Right, let's press our takeoff config button and see if it yells at us. Takeoff normal. Lock the door. Cabin check. Don't know what that means. Don't know what that means. Right. I think we're good. Let's zoom ourselves in on the nav a little bit. Let's go to Sweden. Gear up, positive rate. To 250 it wants us at, I believe. Here we go. Yeah, not bad that. I was quite pleased with that. The rotation was quite nice and smooth, and we managed to hit about 15 degrees without too much bobbing up and down either side of it. Okay, so we're heading up to 5,000. We've got 5,000 in the window. You see the first couple of waypoints, 2,000 or above 2,000, which we've already satisfied. And we've got 3,000 next. Since you like flying newer planes, I suggest you fly the paper plane. One of these days I'll surprise you. So we've got London to our left. Can't really see that much of it because we are quite a way south. Quite a way south at Gatwick. You can't really see much, can you? If you imagine London being at the centre of a clock, Gatwick is almost at 6 o'clock, and we're going to work our way around the bottom, sort of around 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, then head north. So we've hit 5,000. We've done that way ahead of schedule. 250 knots, 3,000. And our next waypoint, I believe, is... yeah, at 5,000 feet, and we stay at 5 until we get all the way up here, and then it wants us at 6,000 feet exactly, not above, not below. Then we can get going up to our flight level of 390. So far so good. Oh, hey, how's it going? You made it. Oh, they really do keep you low for a long time coming out of Gatwick, don't they? Here we go, here's our... So we've got a turn coming up. Another 20 miles-ish, and then we'll get up to 6,000 feet. You can just see the Thames estuary up ahead. See you later, Bevy. Have a good day, mate. Right. What's next? Still at 5,000. Then 6 by Franny. Don't know if we're going to get to see much of London, actually. Don't know. Alright, so this is our 6,000 feet. And then beyond this we can start climbing to 390. What's out the window? Can we see London? Probably won't see much from this distance. We can see Southend. Is it? There's the pier. To work there many years ago. Right about there. Just here, I think. If I've got my geography right. Because this here is actually a... I know it looks like trees, but this here is actually a theme park. And I worked right in that building there, which they've sort of made yellow. Which was yellow in real life, so you can kind of see why the sim's done what it has. Okay, coming up on 10,000 feet, so we'll do our transition altitude and we'll sort our lights out and we'll set our speed to managed, so then we can start going a bit quicker. And cruise on over to Sweden. Can't see an awful lot of London, can you, from here? Too far out. Too far. That's okay. Alright, let's do our lights to off. Go. And transition altitude. Set our speed to managed. Now we're past 10,000 feet, we can go beyond 250. So you just hear the plane spooling up the engines. to space in the A320. I wonder how high I could actually fly it. What one? I'm not sure I follow, Nick. Oh, I haven't put the map on. It's because we're way off track. That's what I was saying earlier about Sim Toolkit Pro not having the SID out of Gatwick, so it's just drawn us a straight line. I'm hoping we're going to meet up with that line very soon. Oh, what runway? 19 right, I think. I'm just a tiny bit concerned about this flight plan here. Okay, seems to have done it. Just had me worried the plane was going to do something weird. Yeah, 19 right, I believe, or was it 19 left? I can soon tell you. Hang on. 19 right. I'm going to get rid of that map because it's only going to make people think we're off course when we're not. How's the poll doing? One vote, 100%. Probably work out our descent points, shouldn't we? So, Balvi is going to be our last one, isn't it? I think if we're at 5,000 for Balvi, should be going to plan. Zoom us out a little bit. Maybe in a little bit more. If we're at 5, we need to be at 2,500 there, so if we're at 5,000 for Balvi. Yeah, maybe even 7,000, we've got quite a way to go. Let's go 7,000 Balvi. And how many miles is it to Balvi? Gonna have to be that top one, isn't it? So we go 39 to 7,000. We need 100 miles ish. When did I start playing? As in, when did I start today, or when did I start in general? Right, there's 4 votes in favour of the music, that's all I need. In general, so when I was 10 years old, I got Microsoft Flight Simulator 2000. It was the one with Concorde on the box. And I played it loads, but I didn't know what on earth I was doing. loved it. And then I moved to Flight Sim 10 when that came out. Again, didn't really know what I was doing. Just played it for fun. Did a little bit of X-Plane because I bought an iMac in 2014. And then I realised you could get X-Plane for the Mac. And it's quite a powerful iMac and it would run it, so I did some of that. Again, not crazy, like in depth, like not using systems, just basically pointing the plane with my joystick and just enjoying the flying. And then I heard that this was coming out because I thought it was all finished really. I thought they were done with Flight Sim. And when I saw the trailer I was like, oh my goodness. And I think being a bit older when this came out, a little bit more patience, a little bit more curiosity into actually how the thing works. But it took me a long time to get a PC that was able to play it, so in 2019 I bought a 16-inch MacBook Pro, originally for like software development work, and I realised you could dual boot it. So you could either, when you turn it on, you could choose either Windows or you could choose Mac. And Windows runs natively on the hardware. There's no loss of performance. There's no like weird virtualization or anything like that. And I kind of got back into gaming. Started playing Counter-Strike again after years away. Then Valorant came out, so I got into that. Then Flight Sim came out, and obviously I tried to run that on it, and it just could not run it. It was like the poor MacBook, its fans were going like crazy. Howdy R, how's it going? Yeah, that poor MacBook. I don't know what was louder, the sound of the engines on the game or the actual fans in the MacBook. It was I mean, it did sort of run. I mean, the 16-inch MacBook was no slouch. It had a pretty beefy GPU in it for a laptop. I could run Counter-Strike at 100 odd frames a second, so it was okay. But yeah, it wasn't the right machine for the job, let's put it that way. Hey Miguel. Yeah, so I think it was more or less at that point I was like, you know what, I just need to build a gaming PC. So, and then COVID happened and all the shortages happened and you couldn't get parts and GPUs were crazy expensive, so that was a whole thing as well. It was like kind of the worst possible time to build a PC, but got there in the end. Right, let's see if I can get this mix with the music right. Yeah, GPU prices were nuts. I mean, when you consider the 3070 should have been $469 here in the UK. That's what Nvidia said the MSRP should be. And I know that when it actually comes to it, the other manufacturers, like when Asus and Gigabyte and MSI, when they will make their versions of the cards, they tend to charge a bit more because they've gone to the effort of making their own coolers, which they claim are more effective, keep the card running cooler, allow it to boost to higher frequencies, therefore it's a slightly faster card, so you pay maybe £50 to £100 more for that. I accept that. But when I started seeing prices that would double the MSRP, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. It's crazy. Are you going to become a real pilot? That's awesome. Oh, good luck to you. Genuinely, good luck to you. That's awesome. Good for you. Hopefully I don't let you down, because I am not a real pilot. Just a nerd on the internet that likes planes. yeah, private pilots. What's the money on that these days? I think my father-in-law flies or used to fly a Cessna it's either a 152 or a 170, I forget. I got a funny feeling he said sort of round numbers, and this was years ago. You'd be looking at around £7,000 or £8,000 in the UK to get to the point that you can fly a Cessna on your own. Let's have a quick check-in with the cockpit. $30K, damn. You would think, wouldn't you, that the airlines would maybe... Because aren't they saying that there's a shortage of pilots? I'm surprised that the airlines don't have like a program that you can get into. And therefore they pay if you offer to work for them. That would seem reasonable to me anyway, but what do I know? Do I have a certain stream schedule? I did. I used to say every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I would do Mondays, so today, and Wednesday in the morning at this time, and Tuesday and Thursdays in the evenings. But I think I'm going to throw that out the window because I'm not sure it's working quite as well. Because in the evenings, according to YouTube, all my audience is offline for the most part. And I did wonder, I was like, these evening streams don't seem to be getting many people. So I think I'm probably going to do Monday and Wednesdays, like this, and then maybe stream one long haul a week. But the long haul will be like an unmanned stream, so it'd be pre-recorded but streamed out. Probably with chat disabled, because I won't be around necessarily to moderate the chat in case we get any weirdos turn up, start ruining everything. Oh, cheers, Casper. Oh, it's 9 PM for you. Nice. It's like 10 AM here. Yeah, it's tricky to know what to do for the best. I'm still very much in trying it out and see what works mode, so I can't really set anything in stone right now. Plus, real life has a habit of getting in the way. Yeah, Nick, I was pretty rough last week. I think it was this time last week I said on stream, like, I've got a bit of a sore throat, I'm not feeling too good. And man, like that evening, Monday evening, I was just like lying on the sofa like, oh, I can't move. And then I think like Wednesday, I thought I was better. Yeah, Wednesday I was like, oh, I woke up, I was like, sweet, I'm feeling really good. And I started like doing stuff, like going about my day. And then about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's just like crash, straight into the ground again. It was really weird bug. Ah, Spain, lovely. Yeah, you'd be an hour ahead of me. According to YouTube, in the analytics, the best time of day for me to stream is from 12 o'clock until 6 o'clock. So midday till 6 PM UK time, which is the exact times that I cannot stream, which is really annoying. So kind of have to make the best of what I can do. If I do the long hauls and they're pre-recorded and I stream one of those out, I can stream that at like, I can just set it going at midday and then I hit that peak time. But that's fine, because I don't actually have to be there to kind of do anything. The work's already been done in the time that I have around that. But in terms of getting the channel monetized, those long hauls are great. I need to get to 4,000 hours of watch time. And I'm at about 2,300 at the moment. And like a good long haul, like a Heathrow to JFK or a Dubai to Frankfurt, yeah, long haul 6 hour stuff. They'll clear me 100 hours of watch time. So they are good for that point of view. I appreciate it, thanks. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a hobby, really, this. Kind of started the channel on a bit of a dare, really. Someone just said, oh, you should upload your flights to YouTube, see what happens. I was like, nah, that'd be stupid. No one would want to watch. People started watching, so I was like, okay, I'll carry on. That's cool. Wait, I didn't think streams counted towards watch time. Yes, they do, if you leave them public afterwards. So in the control panel it says unlist live stream after it's finished or something like that. I forget what the exact wording is. But if you tell it not to unlist it, so basically turn it into a standard video. That's why if you go onto YouTube sometimes and you see a video, it'll be like, it will say like streamed 2 days ago. So it was a stream ended, YouTube then turned that stream into a standard video. Then it counts as the hours you gain during the stream count towards your watch hours then. Plus, from YouTube's point of view, it's a video that has already had like, I don't know, 1,000 views for example. So YouTube's like, oh, it's had 1,000 views. Maybe I should show the actual video version of it now to more people, because 1,000 people already liked it. So it gives it a nice boost. Alright, we just hit our cruise altitude. Still got ground spoilers armed. Now we're looking for fuel. We've only used like 2,000 kilos. So we've got 2/3 left. Do I prefer Airbus or Boeing? Probably Airbus. But that's only because I'm familiar with them. Yeah, Boeing's I find a bit trickier. Especially doing it solo and live. I guess if you had a first officer with you, it'd be a bit easier. But just like, yeah, finding my way around the Boeings. I do have the 737, I bought that. But yeah, it's a lot to learn. Having spent so much time in the A320. (737-800), yeah, that's the one I bought actually, from PMDG. I just feel like a fish out of water whenever I fly it. I think it's just a matter of getting familiar with it though. I think the thing is that the game comes with the A320, so I spent a lot of time in that. Then I discovered the fly-by-wire version, which then opens up a lot more of the systems and things like that, so I kind of got into it in that sense. Started watching loads of YouTubers about it. and kind of de-skilled myself in the Boeing as a result, which I'm a little bit annoyed about. So I'm trying to build myself up in the Boeing. Yeah, you don't like the side stick with the Airbus. It's fair enough, and that must be really annoying actually. If you imagine you're a first officer and you've been training for years and years and years, and you've always been in that right-hand seat, flying with the right hand, and then you become captain, all of a sudden you've got to fly left-handed. And that must really suck. Yokes are going to be removed. What, in Boeings too? Are they going side stick? Alrighty, I'm back. What did I miss? A view. Awesome. Oh, no worries, Watermelon. We'll catch you later, maybe. Appreciate you stopping by. Sorry, I got waylaid making coffee. How are we looking? How many miles are we until our waypoint Balvi 360? Still got over half of our fuel remaining, which is good. So we need 100 miles to descend. Oh, no way, that's cool, Miguel. Amazing part of the world. Oh, do you really? That's cool. So what country are we over? I've lost my bearings now. Let me check them out. Denmark, of course. No, I don't suppose you get a lot of snow in Spain. So you might get snow even in the south of Spain. I would never have guessed that. Oh, no way. Never knew that. Every day's a school day. Last year we've had Philomena. So what is Philomena? Okay, so it's like the change of the weather. Gotcha. I do love Spain. We're going there next year, down to Malaga. Really looking forward to that. Something about Spain that I just like. No, Casper, not on Vatsim. Not this morning. Or not ever, actually. But something I mean to do. But I must admit the whole thing does seem rather intimidating. And I'm not entirely sure what it would add to the stream, really. I kind of like the streams to be chill and, you know, relaxing. So while the nerd in me wants to do it, I'm not entirely sure it would add a huge amount to the stream, necessarily. I don't know. I might try doing the, is it observer mode they call it? Where I can see them and hear them, but they can't see me, so I can kind of just get a sense for what it's all about. I might try that. The British people love Malaga. I've never actually been. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me that that's the case. Alicante seems to be another popular one with the Brits, isn't it? Benidorm, Costa Blanca, Costa del Sol. It seems the Brits can't get enough of that place. Nice to have it on, listen in the background while I'm working. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I was shooting for, really. I do worry sometimes me jumping on the mic annoys people. There have been times where I haven't said anything for a while and the stream numbers have gone up. Then I start talking and then they go down. I'm like, oh no, they hate me. Yeah, Alicante's cool. I forget where it was we went. It was near Calpe. It wasn't actually Calpe, but it was probably like 20 minutes out of Calpe. Really nice little place. No idea what it was called. Just a small little kind of village. Let's go and have a check-in. Slightly concerned about fuel levels. I mean, I put in the right amount of fuel that SimBrief told me to, but it just seems a little bit on the low side. I guess we've still got 3,500 kilos, and we put in 6,700, so we've still got more than half, just. And we're more than halfway there, but yeah. Feels like we haven't got a massive margin of error there. I have heard of Benidorm, yes. Yeah, we drove past it. So we landed at Alicante, hired a car, and then drove up to this place that's near Calpe. So you more or less drive past it on the main road. Sort of see all the hotels, the towers. 272 miles to Balvi, and we need 100 miles to descend. So at Balvi we need to be at 7,000 feet. And according to our top of descent calculator, we need 100 miles to do that. From 39,000 to 7,000. Oh no, we don't, hang on. We'll do it at 136 miles. Okay. So we're actually only 130 miles away from top of descent. Which isn't that long. I must admit there is something appealing about a Benidorm style holiday. I don't know if you're aware, there's a TV series that airs in the UK called Benidorm, which is basically about a load of Brits that go to the same hotel every year for their holiday, and about the what they all get up to, sitting around the pool, drinking, getting into trouble. I mean, I won't lie, there is something quite appealing about that to me, just kind of sitting there vegging by a pool. You watch Benidorm every night. It's funny, isn't it? I think the first 3 seasons were quite good. Then it started to feel a little bit like they were struggling a bit for ideas, but it's still quite good. Yeah, I've never done a holiday like that. Like an all-inclusive hotel kind of thing. I mean, I didn't book the holiday, my wife did, but obviously I kind of perused what she was looking at. And it does look like we're getting close to that sort of holiday. I mean, it's not all-inclusive, it's like, I think you get breakfast or something, but... and lunch. Maybe lunch? I don't know. I should pay more attention, but the point is, I don't know what the point is. It should be nice anyway. That's my hope. Hey, Nick's back. Yeah, I'm never sure about an all-inclusive, whether I'd like it or not. Kind of like to go out and explore, and then that costs money, doesn't it? Because you end up eating out and travelling out and this and that, which kind of defeats the whole point of an all-inclusive. Which is probably why we didn't go for one this time. Alcohol, alcohol. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to sit by the pool all day and get drunk, I mean, all-inclusive is probably the way to do it. We were talking the other night about the buffets in Las Vegas, and they were good. Am I from London Centre? London Centre as in like air traffic, London Centre. I'm from nowhere near London. I like to visit London, but I could never ever live there. You know, it's a good day out. It is a good day out, you know. See Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, all the stuff, but no way I could never live there. I'm very much like a rolling hills kind of guy, rather than cities. I quite like the peace and quiet. Not to mention the cost of living in London. That's just crazy. Crazy, crazy. I had some friends that moved up there, and they were like, oh, we're doing like a house share, so they're renting a room in a house with like 4 or 5 others. So it's a shared house, almost like a student house. They told me what they were paying for it, and it's like, are you kidding? You get a mortgage for that down here. But I guess if you want to be in London, you've got to pay the price. It's as simple as that, really. Right, how are we doing? 100 miles, almost 95 miles to top of descent. Need 130 to descend, and we're at 220 from where we need to be. Casper, actually, it's interesting with the real world weather. I've noticed the last few times I've used it, it's just felt a little bit bugged. And I was doing some stuff off stream last night, getting the new update installed ahead of today's stream, and I did a quick flight just to make sure that there wasn't like any weird crash to desktops or anything. And I had real world weather on, and it was just being weird. Like 1 minute the wind would come from the left, and the next minute it's coming from the right, and then it'd switch back. It's like, what is it doing? Like, I don't know. Which is a shame. I don't know whether it's just me or whether it's a wider issue. In fact, when we did a flight to Malaga, I think it was last week, or maybe the week before, and it just felt odd. It felt like the plane was getting two sets of weather being applied to it. Like there was this weird shakiness to it. Almost like the sim didn't know what to simulate, so it simulated both, and the plane just sort of rattled. It's very strange. So I don't know. There was another flight as well. We were coming into Barcelona we were approaching Barcelona from the south, and in the time it took to do final approach, the wind did a full 180 on us. Now I don't know if that's realistic to real life or not, but it did seem a bit weird that it did that. Also in the way that it did it as well. It was very like jumpy and jerky. I don't know, Miguel, if you can speak to it, whether that's an expected thing when you're on final approach for the wind to do a 180 on you. I mean, I guess it's usual for the wind to change to some small degree, but not complete opposite directions. You could almost see on the... so when I was coming in, if you imagine it was from the opposite direction, so the arrowhead was down here, and you could see it just like moving around and around and around and around, just gradually. Did a full 180, and I was like, why is it doing that? But it still felt like the plane was getting two sets of wind. Maybe that is normal behaviour, maybe I just need to get better at handling it, but... And where was it? We were in Australia, flying Brisbane to Sydney, maybe. And again, just like cruising altitude, we had like a 110 mile an hour crosswind. And we kind of looked it up what the actual weather was doing, and it was not doing that at all. So I feel reluctant to trust it. I feel like I've lost my trust in it. Which is a shame. Anyway, how are we getting on? 185 to Bolvi, 136, so call it 50 miles and we'll be at top of descent. we getting on? 165. Not far to go now. Not far. Appreciate the likes on the stream so far, by the way, guys. Up to 5 likes, which I know is nothing compared to some YouTubers, but to me that's actually quite a lot. So I appreciate it. It's a massive, massive help to the channel. It really is. I don't think people realise quite how much it helps the stream and the channel. So thank you all. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I got what you meant. Yeah. Yeah, it's very strange that. Miles. Get our destination data entered. Now, because we're not using live weather, can we get Stockholm tuned? It's too far. Yeah, it's probably going to be 29902 just because we're not using live weather. Go to 9er and it will convert it to QNH, which is handy. What's the temp on the ground? 6. And 7. Go. Start our descent. We can see the engines rolling back. No, Miguel, I haven't tried the Phoenix, only because it didn't really feel worth it, given how good the fly-by-wire one is, and you get that for free. And I'm sure the Phoenix one is possibly better in lots of ways. I know it's more feature complete, it's got things like VNav and things like that, but it's hard to justify the money when this one is so good for free. I mean, I don't mind paying for the 737 just because there's no other alternative. And if you look at the path that fly-by-wire are on, I think they will get there eventually. Like with VNav and things like that. I held off buying the Boeing for quite some time because, again, it's a lot of money, like $70. When it converts to pounds, I mean, it's a little bit less, but not by much. And they came out with the 737-700, and then the 600, then they came out with the 800, and I thought, well, if I'm going to spend that level of money, I want to get the one that I actually want, which is the 800. To me, that seems like the default 737. If you say to me 737, I picture an 800 variant, and I think most people that have probably been on holiday have been on the 800 without knowing it. But I do like the fact that they do the 600 variant for quite cheap, because if you want to learn the systems of a 737, you know, it's basically the same. I guess it will handle a little bit differently, but if you're on a budget and you want to learn, that's a good way to do it. Yeah, that's right, all Ryanairs I think are 800s. Yeah, to me that's just like the canonical 737. So I thought if I'm going to spend $70 on a plane, I want it to be the one I want, so I held off. Held off until the 800 was released in the summer. I think that's why I struggle to get all that enthused about the A310 that's just been released. It's a plane that I've never really seen much of in real life. Never seen one in real life at all, never flown on one, probably never likely to. I think there's only 50 of them in service. It's quite an old plane, really. It first started making them in the 70s and started delivering them to customers in the 80s, I think. Early 80s. Yeah, you may find Black Friday they do something. just starting to see Stockholm appear on the mini-map there. Let's just check in with the cockpit. So we seem to be holding our speed. We're not like creeping up, which is good. Coming up on 25,000, so another 20,000 feet to go, just under. Yeah, Iceland looks very, very cool. I think I've done a flight into, is it Reykjavik, the capital? I think it's the capital. I remember the winds being quite strong. Very strong indeed. I don't know why Greenland isn't called Iceland and Iceland isn't called Greenland. Yeah, I suppose on a map they look opposite, don't they, to what they're actually called. So we're just coming into the star now. LTOC, and we're on LTOC 7, I believe. Alto 7P, yeah. So when we dip below 10,000, we will have to about our altimeter and our speed. Quite near enough yet to pick it up. I'm going to guess, seeing as we're not using live weather, the altimeter is going to be 299.2. Just a guess. There's us. That's where we need to be. Get rid of the map, because the map's going to be confusing, because there's going to come a point where it's just not going to be accurate anymore. We need to start thinking about getting our speed down to 250 as well, because that is going to rapidly creep up on us. Will it be able to creep down on its own? I doubt it. It is doing it a little bit. Look at the tape there, it is gradually. However, I don't feel like it's going to do it in time. I think it might need a little help. comes 10,000. So set that back to standard. Can we get Stockholm on the radio yet? Altimeter 29902, as I thought. Okay, let's get our auto brake set to medium and do away with our speed brakes because we're at our desired altitude nearly. In fact, I think get our speed down to 220. Just sit here for a few moments. So the plan is get to Bellevue. If I zoom out, you can see there's our runway. So we're going to get to Bellevue, do a left turn, bring ourselves parallel with the final approach, and sort of box it off, and then come in for final. Yeah, the flight discontinuity here, could clear it and it could draw a line possibly from there to there, but it might. I find the Airbus sometimes makes a mess of it if it's not an obvious point to point, like any sharp turn. So there, then a sharp turn, it's liable to mess it up. So I'll do it manually. I guess in the real world, when you get to here, you would probably be taking vectors from ATC anyway, so this is probably not far off. Wow, look at that. Look at that. It's like the other side. Ah, Sweden is very pretty, isn't it? Very, very nice indeed. Okay. We need to get to 2,500 and 160 knots by there, which should be fine. Should be fine. Because we've leveled off, the stats at the top seem to think we're in our cruise phase. We are not. We are about to land. 5 miles out. So we put ourselves in heading select mode. So we're just going to keep going straight now. Probably get ourselves to around about here, then make the turn, turn, straight in. We do a very gentle descent, hopefully we can do so while maintaining speed. Though it looks like it's starting to creep up. Look at it, it's that little arrow just poking its head up there. We can get down to 180 as well, maybe with some speed brakes. But no, it's having a go, isn't it? It's creeping down. We can just get it beneath, get our speed beneath this little orange mark. Then we can get our next stage of flaps out. Get ourselves just to level ourselves off at 5,000. Otherwise it'll be quite low quite quick. There we go. We're heading 04. 004 I should say. So there's the airport right ahead of us, if you can see it there. Okay, let's continue our descent down to 2,500. Whoops. 160 knots, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Doing? Why did it do that? I didn't want it to do that. It's a strange thing for it to do. Well, I did just put the flaps out. Never mind, we're back on course now. So, we're going to head parallel with our final approach, get ourselves past this point here, then do a turn back in and around. I'll maybe go a little bit further, maybe sort of up to around here, just in case we need to sort of wiggle ourselves back in. Okay, so we've got our lights on, speed brake is armed, auto brake's medium. We will activate our put speed into managed. Just get our speed dropped down that little bit lower. At 132 approach speed today. Nice. Okay. Now let's go into our direct 2. This should bring us around onto final. There we go, there's our ILS diamonds. There and there. Obviously these will come into range.
2,500.
Gear down. Conveniently, we can't see a damn thing. So I've just turned approach mode on over here, so hopefully, if I've configured the aircraft correctly, which I think I have, the plane will capture the ILS. Be in business. A short bank round to the right. Hoping. There it is. You see there it's caught the localizer. Plane should also start descending. There it goes. The sun is right in our eyes, isn't it? Alright, so let's do a little check. Auto brake, medium, gear down, 3 greens. Yeah, I'll try not to, Nick. Flaps are full, auto brake is armed, lights good. What we need now is just to see the runway. We do have a bit of a crosswind. Only 4 knots, 5 knots, but it is literally right against us. There's our runway, let's just see it. I thought there was like a shield you could use for the sun, but I don't know where it is on this phone.
1,000.
Hey. My plane.
$500. 400. 100 above. Minimum 200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
Hey, we're down. Not quite on the touchdown marker, but equally not too far off either. Not far off. I'll take that. Yeah, that wasn't bad, Nick. I'll take that. I was quite pleased with that one. I've done a lot worse on the channel, that's for sure. Much, much worse. As you've all been lucky enough to witness. Looks like my sim's lagging a bit now. I've actually touched down. It's a bit weird. That was a nice landing. Hey, coming from a trainee pilot, I will take that. Thank you very much. I find sometimes it feels a little bit floaty, this plane. How do I get over to where I want to be? Oh, my FPS is tanking. What's going on? Oh. Do not like this. Now, can I park? I'm never going to fit in there, am I? Let's go up here. Why's my FPS tanked? That never normally happens. Well, sorry about the frames, guys, but here we go, we're going here, look. Maybe this is one of those like handcrafted airports. It definitely looks like it. Oh, this feels awful. I can't barely use the rudder pedals. Just leave it there, I think, because we're going to clip wings with that Airbus, so it's not quite spawned in the right place. That'll do. Oh, we made it. Yeah, that wasn't a bad landing. I was quite happy with that. I always obsess over getting on the touchdown markers. But realistically, I think that was alright. I was watching a video the other day that Navigraph put out, and they were saying like what all the different markers mean on the runway. And they were saying, you know, aim for the touchdown zone, but really the first third of the runway is fine to touch down on. So I think I just need to chill a little bit on that, because sometimes I'd be like, oh no, I was a few seconds out, like, you know, maybe 1 or 2 seconds off the touchdown marker. So yeah, I maybe need to chill on that front a little bit, give myself a little bit of slack. But yeah, I enjoyed that flight. That was really nice. I appreciate you all being here. It's great to have you in the chat as well, Miguel. I think it's the first time we've seen you. I wish you all the best with your training. That sounds awesome. If you are new around here, feel free to hit the sub button. We go live a few times a week, and I generally post other flight simmy stuff as well during the week. Lots of shorts and things like that. So as for the next stream, it will probably be Wednesday, same time. I'm not entirely sure where we're going to go. Maybe leave a comment on this video with some ideas if you fancy. And until then, I'll wish you all the very best, and thanks for coming along, and have a great